What's going on, guys? Squeebs and Crew back with a new episode. First in-person episode. We are here in Florida. I got my boy Doc Lock over here. What's going on, man?
Not much. I appreciate you having me on the pod.
Yeah, no problem. Second week in a row, second pod that I'm upset. I'm sad. Celtics suck. Super teams are assholes. LeBron cry. I'm over basketball. I'm over watching it. But, it is what it is. But you're excited over here. You got JMU, first ever College World Series appearance.
Yes, sir. It's pretty exciting. I mean, being an alumni at JMU, having friends on the team, just going to so many games over the years, it's just pretty cool just to see it come to this point and just have them get to that experience of Oklahoma City that they all dream about.
An experience that's going to be, and the recognition they're getting from all around, not even just in Virginia, but all over the world. I mean, Ron Rivera, Terrell Owens, tweeting out, congratulating them. I mean, it's pretty fucking awesome to see what they've accomplished this season.
Yep. No, I mean, it's just cool just to see so many other softball players and other coaches and just elite softball players from decades ago.
Just recognize
just what JMU has done over the last decade to get to this point. It's pretty awesome.
But they're going into a situation now. It's exciting. It is. Let's not get into what they've done, but they're going to challenge an animal.
They are. I mean, Oklahoma, the first game, it's going to be tough. I mean, you're talking about the best offense probably in a very long time. 146 home runs, 40 more than any other team in the country.
Probably one of the best teams in the tournament, other than with UCLA.
I mean, I think it's the best team in the tournament. I don't think it's close.
It's close. You can't take away what UCLA's done.
No, I'm not taking away what they've done. But if you look at the stats, I mean, they averaged 4 more runs than any other team in the country. Second place is
has Oklahoma played UCLA this year?
I don't believe they have.
Oh, then you don't know what's going to happen.
You're right.
You don't know how they match up.
They have beaten a lot of teams, a lot of good teams, a lot of top 25 teams very handedly. 35, I believe, run rule victories, which is unheard of. So I just think that they're the best team in the country. I mean, third in fielding percentage. I mean, they're top 10 in a lot of categories. And their offensive side is just far beyond any other team.
Most likely the championship game. UCLA, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bama has a chance.
Bama's good
to beat UCLA for sure, and get to the championship.
But
I think there's some other sleepers as well. But I think Oklahoma, UCLA are definitely the top dogs.
For JMU, I mean, they're going to face Oklahoma.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably good chance of losing that game.
Yeah, I think the first game will definitely be tough. It's going to be a shock to them being at this big of a stage. I haven't been there before. Going to have some nerves.
Yeah, they'll be nervous for sure. But going into it's double elimination. You got one other team in Georgia who's unranked going into the tournament, and they're probably going to face each other in the loser bracket first round.
Yeah, I mean, I see Oklahoma State beating Georgia in the first round. Definitely, I think a Georgia JMU game.
I don't think Georgia's as good as people think they are now.
I mean,
they beat Florida, and Florida's a tough team, but
you're as good as you're playing at the moment.
Yeah,
and they're playing as well as any other team in the country right now. So it's going to be tough for sure, but I definitely think JMU sends Georgia home going 0-2. So gets a date with Oklahoma State for sure.
So with Georgia being maybe a hotter team than Oklahoma State, would you rather face Oklahoma State for JMU or Georgia?
I would rather face Georgia for sure.
Okay.
I know I've looked at softball a lot, and I think, I don't know if you have one, but Oklahoma State's my sleeper to make it to the championship, overtaking Oklahoma. I mean, you haven't watched much, but Oklahoma State, one of the best offenses in the country.
Well, JMU kind of got me into
Oklahoma, Bama. I was going through the schedule, and they are 14-5 against top 25 teams. 4 of those losses coming to Oklahoma. So they've been there. They faced Oklahoma. Outside of Oklahoma, they beat them. They beat those teams. They beat those top 10, top 15, top 25 teams. And they've beaten Oklahoma once. So it's possible. It only takes one.
So what I'm hearing, Oklahoma's going to win the whole thing.
I have Oklahoma winning the whole thing, yes.
I think UCLA can beat them. I would say UCLA will win the championship.
See, I have Oklahoma, UCLA in the championship, but I do think that Bama has a very good shot of beating UCLA in that Final Four round for sure.
Okay. Who would Oklahoma play in the Final Four if that was to be the case?
Either Oklahoma State, JMU, probably. which I think JMU can get there. I think JMU could make a second date with Oklahoma in that Final Four round for sure. Obviously, it's going to ride on Odyssey Alexander. I mean, she pitches every inning, every game. It's going to go through her. However far they go, it's going to be how far Odyssey takes them.
Oklahoma State would be interesting.
For sure. I mean, they faced 5 times this year. Obviously, Oklahoma's won 4 of them. But I mean, I think there's a lot of intriguing matchups, not just on the Oklahoma State side, but the Bama UCLA game, like that could be tough. They're going to face twice probably, and it's going to be exciting.
Give me Rachel Garcia, all day.
I don't know. Montana Fouts. I mean, she's underrated. I'm telling you, Bama could beat UCLA. Another team that's gotten real hot that I really didn't have much for.
Who's Bama?
Arizona.
Who's Bama playing first round?
It's Bama, Arizona first.
Give me Arizona to upset Bama in the first game.
Nah, I mean, I think it's possible. I think Arizona could definitely.
Give me Zona over Bama in the first game.
Because the Pac-12 was just underrated going into the tournament. They did not get the seats they should have. To be honest, it should be a lot different.
Final Four right now. For me, I got Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I got OK State, UCLA, and Zona.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to ride with my squad. I'm going to ride with Odyssey Alexander. I'm going Oklahoma, JMU,
Bama, and
UCLA.
Okay.
I think there's going to be close games in that bottom bracket with UCLA, Arizona, Bama. I think Oklahoma is going to rout their first 2 games. Oklahoma State, JMU, they'll probably win by 6 runs or so.
Give me UCLA over Oklahoma in the final.
Oklahoma, I think, is going to take it all. But to be honest, you know what? I'm going to be rooting against Oklahoma for any game against JMU.
For sure, but
I think
you got to respect the greatness at that point.
Just my sports opinion, analyst opinion. I think Oklahoma is probably the best in the country and will win it all. But I'll be riding hard. I'll be at the games.
Yeah, you're going there. That's exciting.
So I'll get you some sideline reports.
Let me know how UCLA's doing.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be riding JMU the entire time for sure. And I'm excited to see, I got friends in the team, so it's going to be exciting just to watch them play and see Odyssey Alexander at the level that she should be recognized at. I think I saw an analyst tweet about it, but they should reopen the Player of the Year conversation right now.
For who?
I mean, Odyssey Alexander. Why not? I think she threw over 100.
Do they do
pitches.
the Player of the Years before the tournament?
So they break it down. It goes down from 16 to 10 to 8. It's at 3 right now. But at a 4th. So they just beat the number 8 and number 9 team in the country. And what most people don't realize is in that regional at Tennessee, JMU was the 3rd seed at the regional. They put Liberty as the 2 seed.
Give me percentage-wise of JMU's chances to make it past the first weekend. The first game.
If they win to beat Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I'd say 10%.
What's
10 to 20%.
Percentage of them to get to the Final Four?
I think 25 to 30, because I think they can beat Georgia. I think they can beat Oklahoma State. I think those 2 games are very winnable. I think Oklahoma's winnable, but I definitely think the margin is definitely way different going to Oklahoma and playing Oklahoma State and Georgia for sure. So I think that route's more likely for JMU to get to the Final Four. So I think 30% they can get to the Final Four for sure. They have all talent in the world.
Speaking of greatness in Oklahoma and just greatness overall, what the Nets are they just that good, and the Celtics aren't that good?
I think so.
Or is it what I said it was last week? Is it just the Celtics are going off the fact that Jaylen Brown's not there, so we don't have much of a chance?
I think the Nets are that good, and I don't think we're that good. I truly think that the loss of Jaylen Brown.
He's not the best player on the team. I know you keep saying that he's not the.
But Jaylen Brown is a bigger loss than people realize.
I think
on both sides of the court.
Jason Tatum right now is showing that he is superstar. He is one of the top 10 player in the NBA. He is a top 10 player in the league.
I am not disagreeing with
100%.
that for sure. I think Tatum is a top 10, top 15 player in the NBA.
4 50-point games this season.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Top 10, top 15 player in the NBA.
He's top 10.
But I think Jaylen Brown's just overall play on both ends of the court. Jason Tatum is not as elite defensively as Jaylen Brown is.
But he'll get there.
So I think overall, the loss that Jaylen Brown brings to the Celtics was astronomical and more than people realize.
I do think, though, that this series with the Celtics, and I think Robert Williams and Thompson are playing very well.
For sure.
And I think we are exposing the weakness of the Nets.
Yeah, I think definitely exposing. I think
they can't ride these three guys the whole way. The fact of how big every other team is.
See, I
Giannis,
think
they can't guard Giannis. They can't guard Embiid. And to guard them, they're going to get in foul trouble. Kevin Durant will get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
And they're going to struggle.
So then they have James Harden and Kyrie Irving.
I think the Bucks will beat them.
I don't think so. I think that the DiVincenzo loss is big on the defensive side.
But Bryn Forbes is stepping up right now.
But he can't play defense.
I don't think he has to. Because it's different last year. They now have two perimeter defenders in Middleton and Drew Holiday.
Okay.
And they've got Giannis back there.
Yeah.
They don't need any really other defenders.
I definitely think that Milwaukee has the best chance to beat Brooklyn than any other team in the league. For sure.
I want to say this right now because I thought it yesterday, and I was waiting today to say it. And I loved – and the Clippers will reverse sweep. I said it before. I said it last week. They're going to reverse sweep. We'll get to that in a second. And I love the Clippers. I think the Bucks will win the NBA championship this year. I think the Bucks will win the NBA championship.
I still think it's the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Nets-Bucks series is going to go 7. I think it's going to be an entertaining series.
I think the Bucks win in 7 for sure.
I mean, I think we talked about Kevin Durant, talked about James Harden, talked about Kyrie Irving, Giannis, Middleton, Drew Holiday. But those 6 aren't going to win the series. It's going to be the Bryn Forbes.
Or the Brook Lopez.
It's going to be
the Pat Connaughton.
Joe Harris. It's going to be those type of guys. Blake Griffin. Can Jeff Green come back healthy?
He's not. I don't think he's playing.
Is he going to come back?
I don't think so. And that hurts.
That hurts big time, for sure.
Because the Nets have depth. But you saw last night, I actually looked at it last night. I was very curious to see is they beat the Celtics by 16 points. Mm-hmm. But only 3 other players played besides the starting 5. Celtics played 10, 11 guys. The Nets only played 7, 8 people.
And you know what? If that works, that works.
I don't think it works against a team like the Bucks or the Clippers.
Why not?
Because they have depth off the bench. And these guys are going to get tired. They're going to get foul trouble.
Do they have depth? Do the Bucks have that much depth off the bench? They got Bryn Forbes.
They got Bryn Forbes. They got Pat Connaughton. They got PJ Tucker.
Pat Connaughton has to start now.
PJ
Tucker's look awful.
He doesn't have to do anything. It's play defense. It's bring energy off the bench. That's all he has to do.
I didn't even notice him in the games.
Because he doesn't
do anything.
Because he doesn't do those things. He scores.
He's gonna have to hit those corner threes.
And he can.
And I haven't seen him even take them.
He doesn't need to right now. They just sweat the Heat didn't even try. They didn't have to do anything.
We don't need to get into that.
I know, but you're saying that you didn't see all this stuff. They didn't have to do anything. They swept the Heat in 2 seconds.
You're telling me that you're gonna rely on Bryn Forbes and PJ Tucker to lead?
You know that Bryn Forbes averaged more points in the Heat series than Jimmy Butler did.
Yes, I did.
So he's proven that he can play.
He shot the 3 very well.
He played for Pop. He knows what the situation is.
I get that.
He'll be fine.
But
I like him to come off the bench. I don't think he should start. I think Connaughton should start.
I agree with that for sure.
Connaughton, because you wouldn't start PJ Tucker because
I think like you're saying the Nets only have 7 players. I think the Bucks only have 7 players. So it's the same thing.
But I think, all in all, color me wrong, I think the Bucks 7 players combined are better than the Nets 7 players combined.
I disagree.
I'm not buying in the Blake Griffin right now. I'm not buying. Okay. Joe Harris, he shot good 2 games.
That's all he needs to
do. To play defense. And really none of them play defense.
But if they can outscore the other team, it doesn't matter.
That's what they have to do. And I don't think that happens.
I mean, they're going to make Giannis make threes. If he can't make threes, they're going to lose.
He can. I think he shot 40% in the last series.
You just said he didn't try.
He didn't try, but he still shot 40% from 3.
I get that, but the Nets are going to try.
I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you.
I mean, I agree.
Depth and energy and size is going to come into factor with the Nets right now.
I agree. I think that it's the best opportunity to beat the Nets. I don't think there's a team in the West that can beat the Nets.
I think the Clippers can.
I don't think so.
I think. What do you mean? They have turned it around because they've gotten the players involved. They had to get involved. Marcus Morris got involved last night. Reggie Jackson's playing excellent.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson has gone into the 3rd role. He is the 3rd best player on that team right now.
He has to. But I'm telling you that I don't think Dallas is that great either. And Doncic is hurt right now. He was hurt.
He is hurt.
He was hurt last game.
Now I think the problem with the Mavericks, and they're going to realize it, is Kristaps ain't the number 2 they want.
Yeah, he's struggling for sure.
He's not.
He's struggling.
To get to get Luka from here to here, they got to get somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they should have traded him when they had the opportunity a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, you don't know that. Like, you think he's going to – he was great. When he first came in the league, those first few years, he was great.
Well, this series is good and done.
Yeah, I mean –
they had to win last night.
I agree.
This series is good and
done. The Clippers
done.
win this series, but I'm telling you, I mean, I have the key if they want to compete.
I know what you're going to say.
I have the key.
And I disagree with you.
For some reason, they just won't do it.
I disagree. You're going to bring up that they've got a guy on the bench who's making a shit ton of money and not playing. I think he's not playing for a reason.
He's good.
Especially in this series.
They need to make sure he's ready to go for next series because he's freaking good, and that's Luke Kennard. The dude's making $80 million, $64 million or something.
I think it's $75 million.
Something like that. Making a shit ton of money, and he's not playing, and he should be. Listen to this, okay? When he plays this year, the Clippers are 44-17. When he plays 20 or more minutes, they are 22-9. He's averaging almost 10 points a game and 5 rebounds a game. And I think he's only averaging like right around 18 to 20 minutes a game. They win when he plays. So why isn't he playing? They lose 2 straight games. And the only adjustment they make is just with their defense on Luka, when in reality, I don't think Dallas is that good. So if you can't beat them handedly
I think Luke Kennard works in a series with a smaller team. I think Dallas is a little too big for him to play. Because I think Reggie Jackson's better than him. So, I think Batum is better than him.
Batum has played like absolute doo-doo.
He played great last night.
It took him 4 games.
20 points.
It took him 4 games.
I know, but he doesn't have to play like that every night.
But you're telling me that when they were struggling the first 2 games, that they couldn't just go put out the guy who they paid $80 million to come shoot and score. They couldn't go put him in? What's happening over there? I don't get it.
They also got blown out one of the games.
So why doesn't he go play and get some reps?
Maybe he's hurt.
I don't know. Nothing's saying. Everyone's talking about, like, the Detroit Pistons fans should feel bad for him. Everyone's talking about they should feel bad. No one knows what's going on.
Well, all I know is when they were down 2-0, this series was more about Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Nicholas Batum than anybody else. They played like crap the first 2 games.
I agree. So why aren't you trying something else out?
Because they're not – it's different if you're a bad team and losing. They're a good team and they were losing. They have to get the guys that got them there. Kennard didn't get them there.
44-17 when he plays.
But he wasn't playing the high-quality minutes that these guys are.
22-9 when they played 20 or more minutes.
And I don't think Luke Kennard defensively and toughness is good. It's the playoffs.
They were struggling to score 100 points.
This
defense isn't the problem. Because if you score, you don't create long rebounds turning into transition points.
Well, here's the thing.
That's defense on its own. If you make baskets, that's 30% of the defense.
You have a point if they were losing. But now it's working. Now they're making their shots. They're making their threes. But Marcus Morris is involved.
We're looking ahead. They have to beat the Bucks, the Jazz,
and they
Nets. Can they?
Yes, they can.
I'm not seeing it right now, and hey, you know it. I'm a big PG lover. I love me some Paul George.
He is playing great,
playing really well,
and
so I'm all for that.
And that's the thing about the first 2 games. Kawhi and PG were playing great, and it was the PJ slander. It was the Kawhi's not. It wasn't about that. It's about the guys around them. I don't know if Kennard is ready.
But they're not including the guy that they should be around him.
Maybe they will in the future. Maybe different series next.
I hope they try it. I mean, because if not, they're going to look back and they're going to look at that $20 million salary that he's making this year and be like, well, why didn't we use him? We paid to use him. It's wasted.
It could be different next series.
We'll see. Who's going to be next series if they win?
They're the 4 seed, so they're going to go play.
It's going to be the Jazz?
No, the Jazz. Yeah, the Jazz. Or Grizzlies. I'm not saying that series is over either.
That series is over.
What's this? That's 2-1?
Yeah, that series is over.
I don't know, dude. Memphis is playing hard.
That's great. Josh scored 48 points in a loss. They don't have this around. Jaren Jackson isn't playing like he should.
Yeah, that's true.
Brandon Clark isn't the backup they need. Kyle Anderson, stud. Love it.
Yeah.
It's really Jaren Jackson. Jay Bow's doing his stuff.
So we're saying that Memphis series is over. I mean, to Utah.
Over. Yeah.
And
I think Clippers series is over.
Okay. Who do you think gets to the final? The Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals.
Eastern Conference finals. I know we're going to be different on this, but I think the 76ers and the Nets.
76ers and the Nets.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Bucks and the Hawks.
You're really going for these upsets.
It's not upsets. The Hawks are a lot better than people give them credit to be.
See, my thing is I don't think the Knicks are that good, and I think the Hawks are struggling a teeny bit. Yes, this last game they won pretty.
They're so good offensively.
I don't get.
And Capella and Collins can defend.
The problem is I'm pretty sure 2 games ago John Collins got 4 fouls in like 6 minutes,
and they still won.
And he's gonna have to guard Ben Simmons. He may not make it to the third quarter.
It's gonna be a long series
for sure.
It's gonna be a long series. But I don't think the Sixers are the Wizards aren't a good team. The Wizards suck. They're awful. They have no one on the team besides Beal and Westbrook.
Trash.
I am not giving the Sixers any credit for winning the series sweep. None whatsoever.
I get that.
So I haven't seen anything from them yet.
But this year has been unreal.
Yeah.
Seth Curry is coming into his own. He is shutting up haters from years ago.
Yeah, he's playing great.
There's more than one Curry. Ben Simmons looks. Embiid the last 2 or 3 games has been playing outrageous. I mean, we were watching it.
Yeah.
The fadeaway 10-footer is unstoppable.
Well, they can't guard
7 feet.
I think the series would be different if the Wizards did this year have a guy like Thomas Bryant, but they don't have anyone like that. Gafford's playing great, but
I get that. I don't think anyone in the league can stop Embiid right now. The dude could not be blindfolded and hit a bucket from 10 feet right now, turning fading away. Yeah. It's unstoppable.
I don't know.
He can hit threes.
I
pump fake and drive. Like, there's not much you can do.
I'm going with the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm gonna say the Bucks beat the Nets in 6. The Bucks beat the Nets in 6. The Hawks beat the Sixers in 7, and then Bucks to beat the Hawks in 5.
I think that the Nets will beat the Bucks in 7, and I think the Sixers will beat the Hawks in 6.
And then Western Conference, I'm sticking with the Clippers to make it to the finals. I'm gonna say the Clippers will face. I'm gonna say it's quick. I think the Suns. I think the Lakers series is over.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's over. I think they're too hurt. They don't have enough talent around LeBron and AD to win a series.
Yeah.
I think the Suns win it, but I think Chris Paul actually is hurt. I think that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna take them very far.
No. I don't think so either. So the Suns are going to have to play.
Who will they play?
Probably the Nuggets or Portland. That's tough.
It's tough for sure. I mean, I'm hoping it's Portland. I think Portland just has a better all-around team.
I'm going to say right now Clippers and Portland in the Western Conference Finals.
I think I'm going to go Jazz and Portland.
And I think Clippers get there. And I think the Bucks will beat the Clippers in 6 games.
You ready for this? Nets, Portland, NBA Finals.
I don't think Portland's good enough.
I think it's Dame time, sure.
That would be exciting for the NBA world.
I think it'd be pretty awesome. Obviously, Portland isn't the best market for the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
but neither is Utah.
I see Giannis first to claw. That's what I see right now. And I originally said the Clippers were going to win, but I'm going to wait on. I'm going to say the Bucks are more dominant right now. I think Bucks beat the Clippers. You think that Portland wins, and you got the Nets beating Portland.
Yeah, Nets beating Portland. I think KD, Harden, and Kyrie are just too good. I think Joe Harris is shooting well. I just think they have too much just overall. I mean, didn't they just break the record for the most points by a trio?
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be exciting playoffs. I think the playoffs are too long, but it is what it is. Before I let you go, though, MLB, I want your surprise team, your World Series predictor, and MVP right now.
Start with my surprise team because I think it's just pretty obvious, probably just for a lot of people. I think it's San Francisco Giants.
They're playing well.
They're playing outrageous. What are they like? 2nd or 3rd in the NL? No one expected this. I didn't expect it. They're pitching well, hitting well, scoring a ton of runs.
World Series
prediction is pretty tough for me. I think
it's tough right now, but I think
I think
there's one team playing better than everyone else.
I think the San Diego Padres are the World Series champions.
I think maybe I'm going to go Tampa Bay Rays right now.
Okay.
I think their offense is ridiculous, and they got the pitching behind it.
I agree.
I don't know if I trust the Padres pitching in the end.
Okay. I mean, my World Series would be the Padres Rays.
Mine would too.
Or, to be honest, I mean, we're Sox fans.
My surprise team is the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
We're projected last in the division, and now we're second to the Rays, respectively, but we are a great team.
Oh, for sure.
You get Chris Sale back, it's different. Different ball game.
No, I think.
So we'll see.
I think the World Series is the Padres against an AL East team.
Yeah, Rays or Sox. I think
the Yankees
I'm with
could
you.
come back to healthy. Who knows?
I'm with you.
My MVPs are Tatis.
Okay.
And Vlad Guerrero. He's first in home runs, first in RBIs. I think like top 5 in hits, and then 6th in batting average.
For me, another surprise team on the lower level is the Angels. Everyone thought, Trout, Ohtani, Rendon.
Trout's hurt, obviously.
I know, but they still should be better than they are.
Yeah.
But the MVP is Ohtani because he's carrying what. If not without Ohtani, they probably don't win a game.
Yes, I agree. He's doing so much.
15 home runs. Who I think my other MVP on the other side is Acuna right now. 15 home runs, batting like 300, I think right now.
Yeah.
Acuna and Ohtani.
No, I mean Ohtani. I mean, you know what I'm gonna say.
If he keeps it up,
back to softball for me, that's CC Alexander right there.
Yeah, pitching, hitting. If he keeps it up, and Trout comes back, they might make the playoffs. I'm not sure if they will or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough.
They're in a hole right now.
I mean, this MLB. I mean, there's a whole lot of MLB left, third of the way through the season, but I definitely think we got a lot of baseball left, a lot of injuries right now. So we'll see how it turns out.
Oh, yeah.
But for sure, I mean, I know we're talking about baseball. It just gets me pumped about softball. I'm excited.
It's about to be an exciting week. Baseball's kicking into middle of the year. Softball, College World Series, and we got the NBA playoffs for another fucking 2 months.
Yeah,
Can't stand that shit.
Ends forever.
But it's a good episode. Thanks for joining me. This was awesome.
I appreciate you letting me come on and talk about some JMU, some softball.
Definitely come back soon. Get your thoughts on some other things. But great episode. Anything else you want to add? Any future bets or anything like that?
Hey, I mean, I don't know if you can bet on softball or not. But, there's a JMU Final Four prop. I mean, I think it's a good bet. Anything for you? I mean, for me, I'd bet on Portland to the finals. I think it's a good bet for me. I don't know what the plus minus is. For it.
I was just gonna say that right now. I'm going to take the Bucks to win the whole thing. I'm sure I can get plus money on that because they're gonna go play the Nets. They're gonna be underdogs. But my bets right now, I said it last week. Clips reverse sweep still on play, and Atlanta Hawks reverse sweep is still in play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, I'm telling you, put Portland NBA Finals.
I said Atlanta Hawks will, and the Knicks lucky get that one game. I said the Hawks were gonna sweep, but they'll win in 5. I think the Knicks. They got all this crowd behind them. It's not going to help. They don't have enough around Randall and Barrett and Rose. It's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Burks hasn't done anything since game 1. So
and the other thing is the Hawks are getting all this help from Gallinari, DeAndre Hunter. Those guys are stepping up.
Yeah, they are.
And I think that's going to be huge in the Sixers series. Got guys like Gallinari.
We'll see how it turns out.
We'll see what happens. It's a good episode. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it.
And follow us on Twitter, Squeebs and Crew, TikTok, Squeebs and Crew. Post some clips there. And on Instagram, Squeebs and Crew. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
Peace.